here from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Cuba taking on host Puerto Rico, group phase, Group A action. Well, it's the last game of the day here in San Juan. We see the scores from the previous games. Canada victorious, the U.S. eking out a win over Colombia. But now it's time for the final game, Cuba and Puerto Rico, and it should be a thriller. There is a standing in Group A. Canada in front after winning their first game. Mexico picking up the 1 point in the loss. The winner of this game between Puerto Rico and Cuba will leapfrog everybody and jump into second place. The Dominican Republic, the only team that has rested today, we will see them tomorrow. Carlin Gay alongside Natalia Melendez. And Natalia, this is a game that you told me is a big game for both teams, a rivalry game. We see Cuba getting introduced first.
There's a lot of rivalry between these two teams because the first time Puerto Rico ever beat Cuba, it was in the last AmeriCup 2017 in history. And after that, they faced each other against in the last Centro Basket, and Puerto Rico beat this Cuban team again. So Cuba has done a lot of changes in their team. They have new players, new guards. They still have the same forwards, the same centers, but they have new guards. They also have new coaches. So we'll see how they're gonna show up playing in this tournament.
There you see Cuba being introduced to the crowd on hand. Of course, this is a road game for them, even though they're wearing the home whites. The host Puerto Rico will be wearing the road red, but you're going to hear a lot of support as people have piled in here to the Roberto Clemente Coliseum to see that team play. Let's talk about Puerto Rico, the host nation, host team. Very important and very privileged for a lot of these players to play for their country, but play here in San Juan.
This team has been together since 2017. Only 2 players are different. This is a very good team, very good guards. As usual, Puerto Rico always have good guards in men's and in women's basketball. Those 2 are part of that. Daichali Salaman and the captain, Pamela Rosario. Number 5, the one that you see in the middle, Jasmine Watney, will be a very important player for Puerto Rico. She used to play in the WNBA with the San Antonio Sparks. Then she went to Spain. Now she's playing in Puerto Rico. This one's one of the youngest players, India Pagan. She just finished. No, she's on her last year in college, in Dartmouth College in the NCAA.
Well, you hear the crowd already happy to introduce their team to the FIBA Women's AmeriCup, their first game, and Coach Batista has his team ready to go. What we'll do now is pause and listen to the national anthems from both these nations, Cuba and Puerto Rico. nothing like hearing the national anthem of the host nation at a sporting event. You heard the anthem from Cuba, then Puerto Rico. A lot of passion in this crowd. And both teams will introduce each other at half court. And it'll give us a chance to look at the officials for tonight's matchup. Vito, Silva, Young, Argentina, Brazil. Represented here, and the officials have done a good job so far today. It gives us a chance now to look at a team you're very familiar with, Coach Batista's Puerto Rico squad.
The veteran is Daichali Salaman. It seemed just like the other day she was, you know, being a rookie with the national team.
Here's the starting five for Puerto Rico.
Jennifer O'Neill, Daira Melendez, Pamela Rosado, Jasmine Guathmi, and Isalis Quiñones. It's been the same 5 starters from the last 2 competitions. Jasmine or Jennifer, they were not in the last AmeriCup.
So some new blood now for Puerto Rico as they get set to defend home court. On the other side, the rivals, Cuba. What can you tell us about this team here?
They have they have post players that are very strong, that are not afraid. This is a team with, it's a veteran team with a lot of fundamentals. They play pretty. They move the ball, they play pretty, especially in the post. We have not been able to see the new guards, because they do have new guards, and their captain is no longer with them. Isanis Casanova, she's playing in Brazil, she decided to retire. Liz Davy Martinez, Yamara Margos, Suchitel Avila, Leyani Becker, Yanis Lady Galindo. Galindo is the shooter from the team. You know, the big players, besides playing in the post very well and having very good moves, they also can shoot in front of the basket. You know, that mid-range shot, they have it. Their second unit is very good as well, and Puerto Rico team too. So we're gonna see long, I think, in this game we're gonna see long rotations, at least 9 players.
That's what we've seen so far from all 3 games, earlier today. And both coaches in this one understand that this is just one of many games to play. They play 4 games before Friday. They'll have 1 day off before the semifinal if they're able to finish in the top 2 in Group A. Canada already victorious in Group A. Mexico played earlier today. They'll both be watching this one. And we have yet to see the Dominican Republic. We will see them tomorrow. Well, you played with that jersey on at one point in your life. You know how much pressure comes with representing your national team, but talk about the pressure that's going to come here at home, San Juan. A lot of people, a lot of friends and family expecting this team to show up and show well.
Besides being at home, which adds a lot of, you know, pressure, you're playing in front of your country, in front of everybody. I think there's a lot of expectations with this team because in the last AmeriCup, Puerto Rico classified for the first time to the World Cup. So we expect to do good, as we did before.
There's Coach Batista.
The most successful coach in Puerto Rico, playing professional. He's also coached the University of Puerto Rico in Bayamón, and he has like so many championships. It's, you know, he's been very successful in his career.
He's looking to get one here with the national team. How sweet it would be to get a gold medal at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup at home. That will be something most people will remember for the rest of their lives.
Many, many years ago, talking about a game between Puerto Rico and Cuba, you know, it would be like a blow-up game, like Cuba used to beat Puerto Rico for 40, 50 points. When I was on the team on the 90s and in the beginning of the 2000s, Cuba was 4th in the world, ranked 4th in the world. They were in a whole different level. The rest of the teams have the right, you know, to get better, and Cuba is not that team anymore, but they still a very powerful team.
The rest of the world has certainly caught up. We'll re-jump again. Underway here at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup here in Puerto Rico 2019. Cuba taking on Puerto Rico. Cuba in the white jerseys, Puerto Rico in the road red, and the first basket made already for Melendez. Check that, Martinez for Cuba. O'Neal for two, responds, and that's a good sign for her to knock down her first jump shot. Becker, her shot's no good. All pulled down, Sato. O'Neal moves it to the corner. Now Melendez for three! Call it a two, the foot was on the line. You already hear the home crowd is going to be very vocal for Puerto Rico. Toss shot, Avila, no good. Melendez pulls down the rebound. Sato. Guatmi inside. Melendez, Rosado launches a triple in and out. Guatmi pulls down the rebound. She'll force it up. Can't get it to go. Here's Martinez. She has the first two for Cuba. Driving inside. A kick to the corner. Avila for three, no good. Becker tried to grab it inside. It was last touch by Puerto Rico. Stay on this end.
Avila is a big player that can shoot in front of the basket. She'll take a long shot. She also can work on the post.
Galindo shows the up fake. Now we'll look to post up inside. Galindo, Guatmi on her back. Becker for two, way off. Guatmi will pull down the rebound. Melendez. Sato for three. Left it short. And Cuba looking to let that roll out of bounds. Both teams a little bit nervous, and we've seen that all day long. Opening quarter, haven't seen much offense in the first 5 minutes of every single game. But then teams starting to warm up and just realizing, hey, it's just basketball.
That's right.
Travel there. And a turnover for Cuba. Captain crossing court. Guatmi. Melendez. Masato inside for two. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Good pass inside. Masato, maybe one too many passes, is tapped out of bounds. Will stay here with 12 on the shot clock.
Puerto Rico is moving the ball really well. It's just, it's not going in. But they've been very patient in offense so far.
Only two players, as you mentioned, not a part of this team the last time the AmeriCup, so familiarity is not something that they're a stranger to.
Well, I had to say three because Michelle Gonzalez, she was practicing with the team. She got hurt, her knee. Now she's the assistant coach, part of the coaches. And Canales, it's on the team for her.
We'll likely see Canales a little bit later on in this game. 4 on the shot clock for Puerto Rico. Rosado blocked inside by Martinez. Guatmi can't get it off in time, and that is a shot clock violation.
Good defense.
Really good defense there by Cuba. See that replay of Martinez with the block shot. She has the only two for Cuba, and she's on the ball right now. It's a good point guard matchup between her and Rosado. Galindo spinning inside. She got away with the travel. The crowd, if they had a whistle, they would have blown it. Play goes on. Becker now gets called for the travel, and the crowd appreciates that.
Sally's have her hands full tonight on the paint.
Still 4-2 in favor of Puerto Rico. O'Neal, she hit her first jump shot. Melendez Driving inside, good pass. Great ball movement, Puerto Rico. Guatmi for three. Again, her foot was on the line. There was a two.
It was two.
Martinez to the corner. Becker. Galindo for two. That left short. Puerto Rico looking to run. Rosado to O'Neal. Inside, Melendez. And Rosado says, let's take our time here. Guatmi looking to put it on the deck now. Looks for help, finds it in O'Neal. 7 to shoot. O'Neal gets a good screen. Melendez trying to put it back up and in, then she tapped it back out in the fresh 14 for Puerto Rico. Guatmi got her defender up in the air, looked to drive, but it's poked out of her hands. Will stay here with 7 on the shot clock.
It's a very interesting matchup. Jasmine Guatmi and Galindo. Changes in Puerto Rico. Daishali Salaman, Ali Gibson, and Yushka Maldonado are in.
3 new faces for Puerto Rico. O'Neal's gonna have to put it up. Oh, she got fouled, but no call came. Galindo will be back the other way. Martinez, Galindo uses the up fake, drives inside. Avila for 3, no good. Becker with the offensive rebound. Quick shot there by Cuba. That doesn't fall, and Gibson. First time she gets her hands on the rock. Gorgeous pass. Maldonado, too hot for her to handle. Martinez will come back the other way. Margot, her shot rattles out.
The ball just don't want to go in.
Not for either team. 6-2 still to score. You see the shooting percentages on your screen there. 13% for Cuba. 3 on the way, no good for O'Neal. And another fast break opportunity of Avila. Inside, Galindo is fouled and she'll go to the line for 2.
She had Daishali in front of her, so she was going to attack. Isali's got there, but a little late.
Salaman picks up the foul. And Pagan will come onto the floor. You see her there, number 33 in red for
Pagan
the home team.
is still in college. She goes to Stony Brook University. She plays for the U19 team last year.
Galindo hearing it from the crowd. You could see that the arena, anytime the crowd makes some noise, it starts to shake a little bit here in this gym.
This Coliseum is called the Cathedral of Basketball in Puerto Rico. All the important events happens here. Basketball events.
None more important than this one right now for this country. As the home team looking to get their first win at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. Turnover there. Avila. Amargo. Back to Avila for 3. Got it! Well, after missing almost everything, Cuba has tied the game at 6. Salaman. Gibson. Maldonado, O'Neal. O'Neal crossing over, now pulls up, got it! Jennifer O'Neal knocking down another jump shot. That's her second, she has 4. Margo. Galindo. 5 to shoot for Cuba. Becker barreling in. Cross-court pass. Oh, tough shot as the buzzer expires by Avila.
One of the veterans, and I have a story about her in a free throw. I will tell you guys.
Can't wait. That's
what
a
is
tease.
it? Because it's personal to her, and she's making it public.
It's a tease. Here's Gibson, Maldonado, no look pass. Salaman from the corner for 3. Indeed.
And of course, she had to do her dance.
You can see at the top of the screen there's someone with a giant head, a Salaman.
That's her coach, her high school coach.
High school
Jose
coach
Lara
is
Cuente, yes.
Margot's three, no good. Salaman now leading the break. Salaman driving inside. O'Neal thought about it, now driving. Pagan puts it on the deck. Driving inside, bucket, and the foul.
It was beautiful. Nobody was expecting for her to attack. Everybody was looking to see where she was going to pass the ball. She decided to go right-handed. She finished with the basket.
There's a Salaman three. And then again putting it on the deck, as you mentioned.
She's faster. She's faster. So every time she gets the ball there, she can attack. Her defender is very strong. But if she takes a step ahead, she's going to be able to attack her.
Missed the free throw. 2:22 to play here in the first quarter. The last into the game now for Cuba. Avila, who's done most of the scoring for the Cubans. Watney with defense there on Margot, and she's able to get it to go.
It's a very hard basket.
Tough physical basket by Margot. Salaman, she got bumped on her way to the basket. That's only the second team foul for Cuba.
Cuba is not a team that we get to see very often because they don't go to many competitions. The last time we were able to see them play, it was in Centro Basket last year.
Colasso took a little bit of a bump and was grabbing her hand on the way up the floor. Checks out of the game. Tomel checks in for her. We'll see how long she lasts on the bench. Guatmi had that poke out of her hands. Still 8 to shoot. The crossover. Guatmi down the lane. The finger roll is there. Margot on the penetration. The high kiss off the glass can't go. Battling inside. And a fresh possession for Cuba. Margot. Stolen by Salaman. 2-on-1 Puerto Rico. Salaman, Gibson.
She's known for her intensity in the game and because she likes to do beautiful plays. What's simple, she complicated, but it looks beautiful.
Fired up and has this crowd fired up at the moment. Chance of defense coming in, and they'll be silent for a second here as Vila draws the foul. That's the second team foul for Puerto Rico, and they'll look at Salaman.
Great pass.
Gorgeous pass to Gibson.
Ali Gibson, she went to Oregon State. She played NCAA with Ruth Hambling.
She did.
And with the Plumfee sisters from Canada. They are all friends. They were a beautiful picture in the university of all of them together. In the last AmeriCup, they took the picture and they posted.
That shot, an air ball. Gibson did a good job of blocking out and forced Galindo to step out of bounds. The turnover, and Puerto Rico up 7. We'll cross the timeline under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Guatmi. Salaman on this side. Crossing over. And another foul. That's Tornell with the foul.
So far, the second unit of Puerto Rico looking way better than the first one.
Number 17 in white, Jordan checks into the game for Cuba. Here's Gibson, 14 on the clock. Again, sets a screen and then finds herself wide open. Gibson feeds her, and an easy 2.
They doubled the ball. Defense didn't drop from the other side. Beautiful basket.
Galindo inside. Nice feed Jordan can't get the layup. Boy, that was a gorgeous pass.
It was.
There's Salaman. Now Gibson gets a screen from Maldonado. She was open but couldn't find her inside. Gibson tosses it up with a tough shot. She felt the contact, so she just threw it at the rim, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
She played it well.
.4 seconds to play here in the first quarter. And Gibson at the foul line. First time tonight as he took a look at that last replay. She knocks down the first free throw while we were in the replay. Hits them both. Vargas checks into the game for Cuba, and they won't get a shot off as they forgot that there was only 2.1 seconds to play in the quarter. That's how we'll end the first period. Game 1 for both these teams. Puerto Rico up 11 after 1. A reminder, you can follow all of FIBA basketball competition, especially this one, the Women's AmeriCup, on FIBA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, @FIBA. Here's a look at your first quarter stats. And of course, join in on the conversation using the hashtag AmeriCup Women. Here are the highlights from the first quarter. Puerto Rico putting on a show for the home crowd. What have you seen that you liked out of Cuba?
Well, Cuba's moving the ball well. See, and in transition, they are pushing the ball well. The thing with them is they're just not making the basket, but they have done very terrific passes. They're doing good in offense. They just need to finish with bucket. On the other hand, in defense, I think they are a little bit out of control, maybe, and they need to communicate because in the switching, they are having trouble, and Puerto Rico is taking advantage of that. But I don't think they have, they only have 10 points. But if you see what's going on, you have seen what's going on in that first quarter for them. They passing the ball well, they pushing the ball well, they're going, looking for the big girls in the inside. The ball is just not going in.
Yeah, they're only shooting 25% from the field. On the other hand, Puerto Rico, obviously playing at home, a little bit more friendly in this gym. They're shooting 53% from the field to start the game. And balanced scoring across the board. The bench, as you mentioned, came in and changed the momentum of that first quarter.
The good thing about Puerto Rico is that they are making the long shot, and it's coming from different hands. Watney, Taira, Jennifer, they all have scored.
Here's O'Neal, one of those mentioned that have scored. Watney, that's a 3, in and out. Galindo pulls down the rebound. Galindo for 3. Indeed! And she's fired up after that 3-point bomb.
She's one of the best shooters they have. So if Galindo have time and space, she'll shoot it. She's a very dangerous left-handed shooter. A good one.
Asado. Looking for help. Gets it in Guatney. Guatney, step back jump shot. That's short. And Galindo pulls down the rebound. Here's Martinez. They want to look for Galindo again. Calvo sets the screen. Galindo looking to put it up again. Nice pass inside. Calvo and a quick 5-0 run for Cuba to start this second quarter. There's O'Neal. Sado's 3's not there. Martinez pushing the other way. She wanted to give it back to Galindo, but she wasn't ready for the pass. It's that last three from Galindo.
Beautiful shot.
She pointed right to the bench saying, let's go.
I got this.
Gluttony. That pass intercepted by Galindo. She's all over the place right now for Cuba. Avila. Cavallo can't get it to go. Galindo inside is fouled and she'll go to the line for two.
As she said, she's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's rebounding. She's pushing the ball. She's shooting from the outside. She's also offensive rebounding right now. And that was a good move. A little too hard. Then again, Galindo was in the other side. This is a very strong player. She's a guard that she could easily play the fourth.
Galindo's free throw is good on the first attempt. The noise got to her last time. Let's see if it affects her this time at the free throw line. Does not bother her. A 7-0 run to start this second quarter for Cuba. Galindo with 6 points just like that. Foul away from the basketball as O'Neal was trying to come off of a screen.
But Calvo did what she had to do. When a guard, it's you know, somebody's going through the paint, you put a body on her.
Becker will check into the game for Calvo. Second foul for Calvo, so she'll sit with the foul trouble. Melendez hesitating. The feed inside to Pagan. Melendez right back, and the floater is there for her.
Big player to big player. Those are the first 2 points of Puerto Rico in this half, in this quarter.
Puts an end to a 7-0 run. That started this quarter. Referees want to check the score and the clock. Shot clock over the Cuba basket is out. There, you see it right there on your camera. So someone must have kicked the electric cord, and we'll look for it to plug it back in and get back to basketball. There, it's back up. Ready to go. Just got to watch your feet here.
Was you? I think it was you.
Our TV went out a second ago, and that was my fault.
Still not on.
It came on for a second, and then it went back out. So that's the reason for delay. It's back on now.
Now it is.
It's flickering like some Christmas lights. Hopefully it stays on this time.
The storm is not here yet.
Oh, it's not. Not ready for that at all.
It's supposed to come tomorrow.
Storm headed for Puerto Rico. You say it's just rain. I'm a little worried about it. Colas dribbling up the court as we resume action. Galindo. Shot, bucket, and the foul.
Amargo, Jamara Amargo. She needs to be more aggressive in offense.
Here's we see the last bucket by Melendez. And now Amargo, O'Neal gets called for the foul, hit her on the elbow. And Amargo will have a chance for a three-point play. She left it short. And Melendez comes down with a good rebound after boxing out. Guatmi. Pagan. Sato. Guatmi on the baseline, stepped out of bounds.
It wasn't a bad pass, but it was too much traffic. And it was hard for Jasmine to move with the ball.
It's a 9-2 quarter right now for Cuba. They've chipped away at the lead. They're trying to regain momentum in this game. It's all Puerto Rico to start, as you would expect. The home crowd was on fire. They're a little quiet now as Cuba has chipped their way back into this game. Guatmi was fouled on the pass. Melendez finally hit a three-point jump shot. She was a little bit upset because she wanted that one to count.
Yes.
That's a second team foul for Cuba. Pagan. Rosado. Melendez inside, got trapped. Good defense by Cuba. Coming up with another steal. Well, they've tightened up the defense here in the second quarter. Here you see the turnovers beginning to mount up. Gallardo, what a move! The finish not there by Becker.
They're making beautiful, beautiful offensive plays, but they don't finish.
Guatmi. Melendez in the post. O'Neal for two. Got it. Boy, her jump shot is sweet.
She make it seem so easy. It's her signature shot.
6 points and counting for her. Amago off the glass and in. And Becker took a shot to the face as she's down on the ground.
Oh, her ankle.
Tough scene there for her. Let's see that last play by O'Neal. Let's see if we get a replay of the last ankle twist by Becker. Comes down the lane. Oh, there it is. She seems to be in a lot of pain as she's helped off the floor. Can't put any weight on it. You hate to see that, especially in an opportunity like this where you're playing for your country.
That's beautiful.
The teammate has her back. I'm gonna get another replay of the Becker ankle twist. Here it is, a better angle of it. 20 in white.
Ah. That hurts.
It definitely does. Sometimes a little ice and see if she can get back into it. We'll keep your eye. We'll keep you posted on her status, as this is only game 1 of 4 for them. She's an important player, starter on this team. Melendez for 3. Got it. And she's fired up. 7 points for Melendez.
And that's something she developed in the last 2 years. Taira used to be a post player, period. Now she's shooting from the outside, and she seems very confident doing so.
Garcia with the nice move, but couldn't get the finish. Rosado pushing the other way. She wanted to give it to O'Neal, but she wasn't looking. Guatmi on the cut. Slapped out of her hands by Galindo. What a game she's had. Maybe you thought about the 3. Amara would try for 3. Bingo. Nothing but nylon.
Her
12
release,
points for her.
Her release is beautiful.
It's a 4-point game just like that. O'Neal has 2 on her. Finds the open person. It's Rosado for 3. Captain knocking down her first triple of the evening. Margot, who just hit a 3, looks for Avila. Deep 3. Can't get it to go. Body's bang inside. Rosado comes down with the rebound. She's galloping up the court. Melendez, baseline. And she stepped out of bounds. No basket.
It looked pretty, but she stepped out of bounds. The intention was good. Jasmine Guatmi, I think she got hit on the face. She's going to the bench. Ali Gibson is coming for her.
We'll keep an eye on Guatney. See how that goes. And that last three-pointer there by Asado. And here's the out of bounds. See if she stepped out. Yep, she did. Call by the officials. Back to live action. 3:49 to play here in the first half. Avila. Galindo driving inside. Layup's not there. Gets her own. Galindo up again. Can't get it to go. And O'Neal pulls it down. Salaman for three. Gibson with the rebound inside. Takes a hard hit, and she'll go to the line for two.
And Garcia says, you're not going to get an easy bucket here. No way.
He said that's FIBA basketball. We're not going to give you the layup. We're going to put you on the free throw line. Very physical. No layup policy.
Sophia is in the game, number 11. Sophia, she graduated from Duke University. She played for Duke. Now she's playing professional here in Puerto Rico. For the Cangrejeras of Santurce here in this
arena.
Coliseum, yeah.
Sofia Roma, number 11 in red. Gibson will get one more free throw as Cuba entered the lane a little early. Eight-point lead restored now for Puerto Rico. Calvo back into the game for Cuba. Some pressure shown by Puerto Rico. Let's see if Cuba could beat it here. One too many passes leads to a turnover, and O'Neal picks it up for Puerto Rico. Salaman on this side. She'll penetrate. Gibson now driving inside. Gibson, tough layup, can't get it to go. Last touch by Puerto Rico. We'll go the other way with 3:11 to play in the half.
Galindo is getting a well-deserved rest.
Vargas comes in for her. You saw Galindo sitting right next to the coach, which normally means you don't rest too long. You're coming back into the game.
You're right about that. Stay close.
Martinez. Calvo for two. No good there. And O'Neal with another rebound. Gibson ahead. And she'll slow it down. And she get back out. Puerto Rico runs some offense. Deep three. Quiñones.
Sally's, she made a basket like that in the last Pan American Games for Puerto Rico to win their game to go to the semifinals. So she's a good shooter.
Big time shooter, clutch shooter. Salaman. Gibson for three. Indeed. Timeout, Cuba. Boy, when Puerto Rico's three-point shot is falling, it's beautiful basketball. They're up 38-24 over Cuba with 2:22 remaining in the first half.
It's the sixth triple in 10 tries. They're shooting 60% from the three-point line.
Quiñones with that last three. Salaman finding Gibson. Right now, Puerto Rico is rolling. What did Cuba say in their huddle?
He said that Puerto Rico was shooting too lonely. Like alone. He says, you guys are being lazy. And it's not my big players are being lazy. My guards are being lazy. You got to get back on the defensive side of the transition. You must do it because the guards are scoring on the three-point line.
Foul away from the basketball there. O'Neal picks it up.
And what Jerry Batista was telling the girls was that keep putting pressure. It's making them make a lot of turnovers. Don't take any pressure away.
O'Neal, who picked up her second foul, will go to the bench with 2:13 remaining here in the first half and gets a little bit of congratulations from her team. Rosado back into the game for Puerto Rico. Martinez, Calvo, Amargo driving inside. That ball stripped out of her hands by Rosado. Team's hitting the floor, and a foul is called as Amargo tried to shoot from her knees. As Rosado will pick up the foul. Body's hitting the floor. That's what it means to play for your national team, folks. That was only the 14th foul for Puerto Rico. Next one puts them in a penalty. Margot's two, no good, and Salaman pulls it down.
Again, it was a good pass.
Quinones. Her floater's not there, and Avila pulls it down. Avila will tee up a three. Indeed! And she's fired up about that triple.
Yes. So you have 10 already. Two triples.
Two of them coming from three-point range. Salaman with the crossover. Floater kissed it off the glass, but can't get the roll. And Vargas comes down with the rebound. Let's see if Cuba can close the half on a positive note. Avila tried to slip it inside to Calvo. It said last touch by Cuba, but the referees will talk about it. It should be Cuba basketball,
yes,
and it is Cuba basketball.
It's very hard to be a referee.
Oh, yeah.
It's very hard.
Very difficult. Melendez back into the game for Puerto Rico. I did it once in a men's league.
You did it once?
Once in a men's league,
How
and I
was it?
retired right after that game.
Just one.
It might have been the hardest thing I've ever done.
See, I never tried it because of that. I never tried it because of that.
I'm better off here. Avila for three. She got fouled, and she'll go to the line for two.
I think it's time for me to tell you the story about Avila.
Go for it. We have plenty of time.
She lost a lot of weight. She lost like 50 pounds, and we must give credit to her because she works really hard. But the last time Puerto Rico played against Cuba, and they lost, she went to the Puerto Rican coach, to Jerry, and she said, I'm going to lose weight. And next time you see me, you'll see me in a lot of better shape, and you will never beat me again. Puerto Rico beat him again, but she did lost a lot of weight, and she's doing way better. So you got to give it to her.
Absolutely. Give her credit.
Go, girl.
She hits the first free throw. She's playing well in this game so far.
She's doing amazing.
Avila knocks down all three free throws. I'm hoping that by the end of this week, I don't gain too much weight eating the Puerto Rican food here.
I expect you to, if I see you eating like you are, at least 10 pounds.
Melendez with another three. And she's fired up every time a three-point basket drops for her.
She's on the zone, 2 for 2.
10 points and counting. 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Martinez left alone for three. Can't answer. Gibson pulls it down. Salaman in front of everybody. Tried to draw the foul. None coming. Vargas back the other way. Calvo for three. That's too strong. Vargas ran the entire length of the floor. Pulled down the defensive rebound, now the offensive rebound. Calvo inside. Can't get the layup. Gibson on the floor, saves possession. Under 10 to play. Rosado behind the back. Salaman with 2 to shoot at the buzzer. left it short, and that's how we'll end the first 20 minutes of this game. 41-30, Puerto Rico up on Cuba at the half. Well, obviously nerves played into a factor to start the game. Cuba hasn't really shot a great percentage inside, but they've been knocked down threes, 40% from three-point range. They've gotten to the line, 75% for them. What do they need to do to get back into this game in the second half?
Cuba needs to start making those shots in the paint, because they're making amazing passes, especially Calvo. They are passing the ball to Calvo, good passes, very close to the basket. She's a big and strong player. She shouldn't be afraid of Puerto Rico, hitting her. She needs to finish. She needs to help the offensive, because she's getting a lot of minutes. She needs to be a factor. That's kind of like our first WNBA player.
Getting honored at center court as we take a look at some of the highlights. But for Puerto Rico, Melendez has been terrific. They have an 11-point lead. What do you think head coach Batista is talking about in the locker room to get ready for the second
I always
half?
said that the third quarter is the hardest quarter to play, because the intensity, you usually after a break you lose that intensity. Puerto Rico needs to keep continuing what they're doing in defense, putting a lot of pressures in the point guard, not letting Cuba get second opportunities, because this team is very, very capable of start hitting those shots. That percentage, that's not Cuba. Cuba is way better than that. They need to stay focused, knowing that at one Cuba is going to start making those shots. So you gotta stay playing hard, and the offense, you need to keep sharing the ball and being smart and taking good decisions.
Both teams, 11-point game, 41-30 is your score. Puerto Rico up at the half over Cuba.
durante el día, comenzando desde las 12:30 del mediodía. Así que, fanáticos, dense la oportunidad de disfrutar del mejor baloncesto FIBA en Puerto Rico, porque es la emoción del deporte, y así usted conoce las diferentes selecciones y y apoya a la selección, pasa un ratito agradable, disfruta del baloncesto y así usted le saca provecho para la selección nacional de Puerto Rico. No vas a ver los otros juegos, usted puede disfrutar de los 4 juegos diarios que le trae nuestra Federación de Baloncesto de Puerto Rico aquí en FIBA AmeriCup 2019. Y no olvides que a la hora de renovar tu marbete, márcalo, fírmalo y asegúralo con el seguro obligatorio de la Cooperativa de Seguros Múltiples de Puerto Rico.
Tarde, Colombia versus Paraguay. A las 5:30 de la tarde, el tercer partido, Canadá versus Cuba. Y a las 8 de la noche, Argentina versus Brasil. Puerto Rico estará jugando el martes a las 8 de la noche contra Canadá.
Si usted quiere estar como nuestra selección nacional, conectado con la red más rápida, 4LTE de todo Puerto Rico, no olvide que tiene que estar en las manos del móvil, porque eres de los nuestros, está corriendo en la plataforma de los 600 MB, rumbo a lo que va a ser el 5G
Back we are here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We'll give us a second to listen in to the head coach of Team Puerto Rico. Got back just in time to hear a little bit of that huddle for Puerto Rico, but we talked about it before we went to the break at halftime. They're hitting three-point shots, which is a good thing. What do they need to do to keep it rolling here with this 11-point lead in the second half?
When you see Cuba is shooting 25% from the field goal, Puerto Rico is shooting 45% and 60% the three-point range. What are the possibilities of Cuba to keep shooting that low and to Puerto Rico to be shooting that high? Everything can change in this third quarter.
We saw Cuba battle back in the second quarter. They started that second quarter on a 7-0 run. They got it to within 4 points, but Puerto Rico closed that quarter strong. It was a 20-20 quarter for the scoring in that frame.
Cuba has Galindo, hot hands, as well as Yamara Amargo. Now, one of the two big players needs to finish, needs to get in the offense, and they will be in better shape in this game. They need a third voice.
Galindo played really well in that second quarter.
Doing amazing, both ends.
Waiting for the clock to adjust here. And then we'll kick things off to start the second half. Second half underway here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. FIBA Women's AmeriCup action. Cuba taking on Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico with an 11-point lead. They are in the road red. Cuba in the home white. Carlin Gay alongside Natalia Melendez. Thanks for joining us wherever you're doing so at the moment. Game one for both of these teams, Group A. The first two teams in Group A will move on to the semifinal, which will be played on Saturday. They'll cross over with the first two teams in Group B. As that first attempt by Avila, no good. O'Neal ahead of everybody, Guatney. Rosado for three. Indeed! Well, they started shooting red hot in that second quarter, and it continues on here in the third.
Good news for them.
Galindo with a nice move. Guatney thought she got all ball. The foul is called, and that's her second. Here's a transition basket by Rosado. And then Galindo, what a spin. Wow.
It's a very good spin. She plays the correct basketball. She thinks very well.
She's been one of the bright spots for Cuba so far in this game. 7 points and counting for her. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals. Getting it done on both ends of the floor. Watt. Rosado for 3. And Galindo pulls down another rebound. Galindo. Euro stepping in. Avila. Amargo for 3. Can't get it to fall. O'Neal tapped it. And she'll get the return pass on the fast break. O'Neal finds Guatney, but too hot for her to handle, and Galindo comes the other way with numbers. Galindo, offensive foul.
Yeah. A little bit out of control. Not a thing that we see often in her. She's usually very under control.
A little pressure shown by Cuba. First time we've seen that tonight. O'Neal for 3. No good. Rebound inside, and Martinez is going to get called for the foul. She just slapped at the ball. Didn't really try to play any defense.
Exactly. Too easy for Puerto Rico. The shot was an open shot. She didn't make it. But then again, the offensive rebound from Isalis, nobody was around. Cuba needs to be more aggressive if they want to get this game.
Quinones misses the first free throw. Gets the second. A little pressure shown now by Puerto Rico. Sato watching Martinez. Calvo spinning inside and gets to the lane.
More of that. Cuba needs more of that.
Guatmi, Sato. Melendez, who is red hot from three-point range in that first. Quinones sets the screen. She gets the pass from Rosado. Can't get the floater. And Martinez pulls it down. Margot. Blocked. Quinones coming back into the defensive play and coming up with a rejection. Here's the block. Galindo. Avila. Good closeout by Melendez. Melendez strips the ball. It's steal. 3-on-1, Puerto Rico. Guatmi.
Great choice. In between Jennifer and Jasmine, they are both very good players. But I think Jasmine was a taller player.
Came away with a good finish there. 17-3 fast break points in favor of Puerto Rico, and they're looking for more. Rosado. Guatmi the floater.
Puerto Rico is looking very good in the offensive transition. Everybody's running, everybody's filling the lanes. Pamela is a great, great passer.
Avila can't get the roll. And Cuba still struggling from the field. See the strip there by Melendez, leading to the 3-on-1 break. And as you said, everyone feeling their lanes correctly. Guatmi able to put it home. Subs on both sides. Quinones sitting. Guatmi sitting for Puerto Rico. Pagan comes back onto the floor. And so does Gibson. O'Neal uses the Pagan screen. Rosado. Melendez driving baseline. She ran into trouble and is stolen by Cuba. Margot right to the hole. No one stopped the basketball and she made them pay the price.
She found the gap and she attacked it very well.
Here's the replay.
That was pretty. Jennifer thought she was going to pass the ball. She let it go by.
Rosado. Pagan. O'Neal. Rosado knocks down to 2.
Eight points for her.
51-35. Puerto Rico in front. They're getting to flex their muscle here in the third quarter. Margot. Go inside, Jordan fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots. That was a nice tough move in the post. As we take a look at that last replay by Rosado. She's been shooting a little bit more confident here in the second half.
Martinez was right there. Pamela is a good shooter. When she comes hot, she comes hot. When she can make a basket, she can make a basket. And it's a good thing for Puerto Rico that she's been good in offense.
Salaman back into the game for Puerto Rico, so is Maldonado. The shot clock again on the other side of the court has lost power. Now it's back on, and we'll have the free throw. Dan quiets the crowd momentarily with that last free throw basket. Pressure shown by Cuba. Pagan looking for help. Tornell crossed over by Salaman. Salaman driving the floater, got it! Bolas. Tornell. Jordan puts it on the deck. Pagan on her back. Fall away shot. No good. Rebound inside Maldonado. And O'Neal dribbling up the court the other way. Gibson looking for help. Finds it in Salaman. She spins away. Salaman, look away, pass to Pagan. And Salaman waving the crowd on, saying, let's hear you.
She's doing a little bit of everything.
5 assists now for Salaman.
They call her Dinamita here, which means TNT.
Little dynamite.
A dynamite, yes.
Margot. Another turnover. O'Neal ahead of everybody. Can't get the layup. She was looking to draw the foul. Gibson pulls down the rebound. Maldonado puts it on the deck. She was looking to pass to Pagan and then was slapped away by Cuba. Bolas, Tornell. Margot with O'Neal in front of her. Margot sees a smaller O'Neal, looks to back in. 10 on the shot clock. Hook shot by, Margot showing the hook shot.
13 for her. She's shooting 50% from the field goal.
Pagan is fouled and she'll go to the line for 2.
One thing it's when the offense is not working, as you know, Cuba's been having problems in their offensive end. They kind of giving up in defense as well.
Let's take a look at the dynamite. Last couple of plays, you see her fired up. And then on Margot.
Beautiful.
I don't know if she called bank. Did you hear? Pagan at the line for 2.
Bench points are 20-5, Puerto Rico.
Mostly bench players on the floor for Puerto Rico at the moment. Actually, all bench players now, as we see Kuzmanik in the game, number 20 in red for the first time for Puerto Rico. Full court pressure shown by Gibson, doing a good job of moving her feet. Bolas. Stolen by Pagan, but they say kickball will stay here. And they'll give Cuba a fresh 14.
Colas is one of the good, new players from Cuba. Never seen her before.
She's gotten a little bit of burn here in this game. Jordan. Good turn and able to hit. That's a nice move in the post.
Very good move.
Colas now guarding Salaman. Salaman wanted to beat her one-on-one. A foul was called before the drive. That's the 4th team foul on Cuba. Galindo comes back into the game for Cuba. Colas will sit. Here's that last Jordan bucket. Back to live action. Salaman. Gibson for 3. Indeed.
Ali is not shy. She only needs a little bit of space. She'll shoot it.
19-point lead for Puerto Rico. Margot. Blocked by Maldonado. Saleman. Gibson in the corner again. Driving, and she's fouled by Jordan. That's the 15th foul, which will send Allie Gibson to the line for 2 free throws.
Good screen. Good screen by India.
Here we see the foul. Gibson knocks down the first free throw. 20-point lead for that man right there, Coach Batista and his squad. He's seeing the energy that he wanted to see coming out of the halftime break.
This is the rookie, Canales.
And Gibson sits with 12 points, 5 rebounds. Canales, 24 years old. Here she is on the ball now, pushing in transition. She has Saleman with her. Saleman, the floater is not there. Galindo pulls it down for Cuba. We'll go the other way. Margot. Defense by Kuzmanic to block off that drive. They want to go inside. They do. Neyra's three is no good. Pagan hits the deck. Ball out of bounds. It will go the other way. Last touch by Cuba. Pressure shown. Good pass. Kuzmanic inside to Pagan.
Kuzmanic is also a rookie on the team. She participated with Puerto Rico in the last Pan American Games.
Her first taste of AmeriCup.
AmeriCup, yes.
Galindo for 2, no good. Offensive rebound, fresh 14 for Cuba. Vargas. Galindo with Saleman on her back. Oh, they say offensive foul. Great defense there by Saleman to draw that foul.
It was hard to see it from here.
We'll look at the replay. You can be the judge at home. Wait for it on the next possession. Here's Canales. Pagan with space and time. The drop step. Doesn't get the finish. The entire crowd wanted that to fall for her because that was a gorgeous move. Margot for 3, in and out. Bodies crashing together, and Pagan running the length of the floor to pull down that defensive rebound. Saleman to Kuzmanic for 3. Indeed!
That's what she does. That's what she do better. She's a great three-point shooter.
Her first 3 points in the game. 7 assists for Saleman.
Puerto Rico has 8 in 14 tries.
8 3-pointers, that is. Jordan, nice hesitation. The foul's on the floor, so don't count that basket. It was before the shot. It's only the 3rd team foul for Puerto Rico here. Check that, the 4th team foul now for Puerto Rico here in the 3rd quarter. As we take a look at that nice pass by Kuzmanic inside to Pagan. And then Saleman going cross court to Kuzmanic for 3. Galindo. Jordan, fade away. No good. Maldonado comes away with the rebound. Two-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Saleman taking her time to run a set for Kuzmanic. Saleman's open in the corner for 3. Can't get it to go. Pagan battling inside. Now 5 to play here in the quarter. At the buzzer, no good. That's how we'll end the 3rd. Good effort out of the halftime locker room break for Puerto Rico. 66-40 the score. Puerto Rico rolling at home. Keep up to date with all that's going on in the FIBA Women's AmeriCup by following @FIBA on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There you see the third quarter statistics. And a big third quarter for Puerto Rico, extending the lead to 26 points. What did you see out of that third period for the home team?
10-25, 15 points different. That's too much. 10 points for Cuba only in the first half, 20 in the second, then 10 again in the third. They're having problems in the offense. Puerto Rico in the other side, 21-20, and then 25. They came out really strong in that third quarter, and they end up playing with the bench.
Yeah, the bench got a lot of burn. Salaman, Gibson. And we see a lot of Salaman Pagan.
And India is doing an amazing job.
On the other end for Puerto Rico, you mentioned in the first half, they've been getting shots. They just haven't fallen for them, and still struggling from the field. Only shooting 27% from the field is Cuba.
It's not something we're used to seeing Cuba struggling with. You know, it's okay not to, when the offense, you know, when the buckets don't go in, they just don't go in. And those games do happen. But it's not normal to see Cuba fall like that in defense. It's not part of their DNA. It's not.
Well, Puerto Rico will have a rest day tomorrow. Cuba will have to play Canada tomorrow. We saw Canada early on defeat Mexico in the first game. That'll be a tough matchup for Cuba going forward. Fourth quarter underway here. Puerto Rico up 66-40 over Cuba. Match day one, the fourth and final game here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Martinez on the floater. Can't get it to go. Galindo, who's had an impressive game for Cuba, pulls down the rebound.
She's carrying Cuba on her shoulders. The offensive have been all on her.
Stepped out of bounds on that drive, though, and it'll go the other way. She wanted the foul call. Puerto Rico back with most of their starters. Rosado into the game. Quinones. O'Neal. Quinones thought about it, wants to give it inside to Roma. Roma saying that she got fouled, but play on. The referees are letting them play here. Tornell. Galindo with Rosado on her back.
Nice.
Calvo with a great drive and layup.
Moving without the ball. Great pass by Galindo. Good finish by Calvo.
First two of the quarter for Cuba. A foul away from the basketball. It's an offensive foul. Quinones picks up the foul on the illegal screen.
She said no. Pamela says, yes, you did. I saw you, and I'm on your team. Just keep playing.
That's the captain, Rosado, making sure her team stays focused and in check. Helping that man out there, Coach Batista. Martinez, watched by Rosado. Cornell back inside, a double team on Galindo. Good feed, and another miss from point-blank range for Cuba. Rosado, O'Neal. O'Neal looking to go one-on-one on Martinez. To the corner, Roma. Her two no good. She followed her own miss. It's picked up by Quinones. Gets the layup for 2.
6 for her.
She struggled from the field, but that might get her going with that layup. Avila inside. Galindo. Good defense by Melendez, putting the hands straight up. There was a little bit of contact, but the hands were straight up by Melendez. O'Neal dribbling in the front court. O'Neal had that poked out of her hands. They'll stay on this side, 15 on the clock for Puerto Rico.
Good defense.
Really good defense there. When Cuba has decided to defend, they've been there.
They've done well. Puerto Rico have participated in 11 America's championship since 1993. 2 bronze, 1 in 1995 and another one in 2017.
One of those medals you were a part of.
1995. I'm not going to say it too loud because then you will, know my age, but it was a long, long time ago.
Steal there by Rosado. 4-on-1 for Puerto Rico. Great ball movement. Quiñones with the layup.
Salis Quiñones running the lane like if she were a guard. Beautiful, beautiful pass, beautiful end. Nice.
Beautiful look by Avila inside by Margo. Margo with 15. Erin Galindo has carried the offense for Cuba. Haven't gotten much else from anyone else.
Only 5 players have scored. 3 Jordan, 7 Galindo, 6 Calvo, 13 Avila, and 15 Amargo.
Rosado knocks down the triple. She has 11. It's her 3rd three-pointer in the game. Blocked there by Quiñones. O'Neal in front. Melendez running with her. Hard foul there. Melendez hit the ground hard, and she's slow to get up. She wants to catch her breath, and she'll get up and go to the line. It's that last fast break for Quiñones. And then Rosado tees up the 3. And this is a hard foul. Ooh. Little knock on the head.
Many players cannot live from basketball, women's especially. And in the case of Melendez, she just received a very good news in the last month. She will be athletic department director from her school. I can't remember the name right now, but it's an NCAA school. How cool is that?
That's
You're playing
incredible.
professional, you're playing for the national team, and then you can get to do that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. She knocked down both free throws. It seems to be okay after taking that hard foul. 12 points for her. 75-44. Puerto Rico in front. Looking to close this one out here at home in front of the crowd at the Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Quiñones pulls down a flat-footed rebound. Sato. Quiñones for 3. How about that? She got 2 layups to go and now knocking down the triple.
It's the 10th triple for Puerto Rico in 17 tries.
She was struggling from the field before this offensive explosion. 7 points here in this 4th quarter. Avila. Jab step. Tees up a 3 of her own. Can't get it to go. Rebound inside. Amargo and a foul.
You have 17. She's shooting pretty well. 41% from the field.
Quiñones, that last 3-point basket and a smile. You like to see that out of her, but Amargo still hustling even though her team is down big. Timeout on the floor, 78-46. Puerto Rico in front with 5:31 to play in the 4th quarter.
Bueno, no te falta el gol adelante. Porque es contrario. Tiene que haber una actitud dentro de la cancha. Estamos jugando parados como si estuviéramos ganando. Hay que jugar corriendo, hay que jugarse con la pantalla. No podemos ir para arriba de la pantalla. Tenemos que meternos por delante. Y llegar a la
We heard the huddle for Cuba. What was being said there?
Say, I don't like your attitude. You guys are playing like you have nothing to lose. We are losing. And you gotta keep your head up. The game is not done. It's just a big difference, but we have to keep playing. Play hard.
See how that message comes across with 5:31. He's exactly right. This is game 1 of 4 here at the FIBA AmeriCup. You don't want to create bad habits.
Exactly.
Pressure shown by Cuba. Gibson is trapped at half, looking for help. And a jump ball as Gibson hits the net. Good defense there by Cuba, trapping correctly, and there's a lot of size in that trap as well.
That's the right word. Trapping. That was perfect. Hands up, no foul. Good job.
They get the turnover as possession arrow is going the other way. So positive coming out of that timeout for Cuba. Mera can't get it to go. Jordan trying to save it. She saves it into hands of Gibson. Salaman. Pagan sets the screen for Salaman. Pagan now inside, and she traveled. Even though she traveled, that pick and roll has been there all evening long for Puerto Rico between Salaman and Pagan.
It's working. It's been working.
Jordan thought about it. Margot. Vargas uses a Naira screen. Vargas. Jordan. Using the footwork, gets it up. Can't get it to go. And Kuzmanic comes down with the rebound. Maldonado. Salaman has 2 on her. Gibson, one more pass, Kuzmanic. It's inside to Pagan. Pagan can't get it to go. She thought she was fouled, and Cuba comes away with basketball. Vargas goes 1-on-2 and draws the foul. Aggressive move by Vargas.
Good defense possession.
Maldonado picks up the foul.
Try to split it between the 2 players. Receive the foul.
First free throw knocked down by Vargas, and ever since that man has challenged his team, saying he didn't like the attitude, they've come out with a little bit more intensity.
They did. And that's Vargas' first point. She had 5 rebounds.
Can't hit the second. Maldonado comes down with the rebound. Salaman looking to cross over. Kuzmanic. Now Gibson tried to find it inside to Pagan. Naira comes away with the steal. Galas. Margot. Vargas. Inside Naira. Forces up the shot, can't get it to go. Salaman comes down with the rebound, and Gibson on the fast break. And counting for Ali Gibson off the bench for Puerto Rico. 28-7 fast break points for Puerto Rico. They've gotten out in transition.
Big difference.
And they've made Cuba pay. Colas for 3. That's her first 3-point basket of the game.
And the 5th for Cuba. Good pass.
Great look by Gibson. Maldonado can't convert on the layup. It was almost like she was too open.
It was a back peek.
Canales comes back into the game. And Roma comes into the game as well for Puerto Rico. Gibson will sit, Solo Pagan. Salaman, you see her on your screen. 5 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. She's doing a little bit of everything.
A round game, yeah.
Manning uses the Roma screen. Now looking for some help. Finds it in Salaman. Salaman dribbling inside. The floater. Can't get it to go. No one wanted the basketball. Finally, Naira picks it up. There's Colas. Three on the way. Amara can't get it to go. Canales one-on-one on Colas. The Euro step didn't work out for her. Margot pulls down the rebound. Margot driving inside. Tough shot, can't get it to go. Maldonado with the rebound. Under 2 to play in the game. Guzmanic for 3. No good. Canales with the rebound. Salaman late to come into your picture, and here she is on the ball. 7 to shoot. Guzmanic shows, goes with the floater in the lane. Can't get it to go. Roma with another offensive rebound for Puerto Rico. Canales for 3. The crowd wanted her to have that. She couldn't hit it.
The rookie.
Vargas the other way with Canales guarding her. Vargas bullying her way to the basket. Can't get it to go. Trying to fight for her own rebound. 2-on-1 opportunity the other way. Salaman. Canales can't finish the layup. Margot. Great Euro step to get around the D and lays it up and in.
Got 20.
A good night at the office for her. 20 points, as you mentioned, 50% from the field. Under a minute to play here. Puerto Rico looking to close out their first victory here at home. A lot of pressure on them to perform well at this FIBA AmeriCup. Maldonado's 3 is no good. Vargas getting right to the rim. It's fouled by Maldonado, and she'll go to the line for 2.
It's a big difference, 80 to 53, but Cuba needs to leave this game behind because, as you said, they are going to face Canada tomorrow.
Puerto Rico will have a rest day tomorrow. They'll play again on Tuesday. They'll play the same Canada team that Cuba will see tomorrow. And that will be a big game. I'm sure the gym will be packed for that one. Vargas knocks down the first free throw. What are some of the positives you could take out of this game leading into tomorrow? We saw Canada play earlier on against Mexico. What does Cuba need to do, or make sure they need to do, to try and keep in game with Canada?
They definitely need to get better on the defensive rotation. They need to communicate better. I think everything, I think that the problem starts on defense. They need to do better in defense, and of course, in the offensive side, those shots close to the basket, they need to make those.
It's been a tough shooting night for Cuba. Garcia picks up the foul there.
Those are the easy shots. You cannot rely only on Amargo and on, not in a tournament like this.
It's 28% from the field for Cuba. That's very tough. Salaman, cross-court pass. Canales, floater. Everybody wants her to score in this arena. And she's missing some point-blank stuff. Roma crashing the boards, had it knocked out of bounds. 22.6 seconds to play. Doesn't look like Canales will get that basket that she's looking for, as Cuba can hold for the final possession. Vargas. Spinning. Nice move by Vargas. Can't get the roll. It's been that kind of night for Cuba. 8 to play. Kuzmanic will dribble over the timeline, and we won't get a shot. Puerto Rico playing in front of their home crowd. Get their first win here at the Women's AmeriCup 2019, 80-55 over Cuba. Well, the first one is always the hardest one to get. Puerto Rico came out, did what they were supposed to do, win at home, and shot the ball really well from three-point range. What did you like the most about their performance?
They did a lot of good things, especially on offense. Everybody participated. The percentage were really, really high. Different kind of offense inside and then outside, mid-range. Too, we have to talk about the great job that the bench did. You know, they kept the tempo of the game. They brought intensity, not letting Cuba have second chances in offense. That was a good thing too, because Cuba was supposed to dominate Puerto Rico on the boards, and it was not like that. It was a very close game in the board. So those are the good things that we could, saw in Puerto Rico. 17 turnovers. I didn't saw them, but they were 17. That's a lot. That's something Puerto Rico needs to get better on.
They'll have a rest day to think about that before they play Canada on Tuesday. On the other end, no rest for Cuba. They play Canada tomorrow, and a very big Canadian team. They got out-rebounded by Puerto Rico by 54-35. That's a big count.
That's a lot.
And Canada is going to present the same problems inside. Who do you think needs to step up for Cuba tomorrow? Amargo was terrific.
Amargo was amazing. Galindo was amazing in the first half, and she got tired because she was doing everything. And of course, the defense made the adjustments. They need the big players to get into the offense.
80-55, your final score. FIBA Women's AmeriCup game day 1 in the books. There is the standings for Group A. Puerto Rico and Canada in first place. Cuba and Mexico right now in second, both losing. Dominican Republic has not played. We'll see them play tomorrow as they take on, they'll take on Mexico, who lost to Canada early on today. We'll leave you with the highlights from this game. It's been a pleasure all day long. Reminder, you can find us right back here the same way you found us today for game day 2. 4 more games on Monday coming your way here at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup Puerto Rico 2019. For Natalia Melendez, I'm Carlin Gay. We'll see you tomorrow right here from Puerto Rico.